Evening, everyone. This is a regular meeting of the Saginaw Planning Commission. I am the Chairman, John Millen, and I've called the meeting to order. Could we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Bland,
Present.
Commissioner Faust,
Present.
Commissioner Clark is absent, Commissioner Weininger, absent. Commissioner Milne.
Here.
Commissioner Moore,
Here.
Commissioner Nash,
Present.
Commissioner Orange,
Here.
and Commissioner Ostash. You have a quorum.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of January 28th, 2025 meeting. I will entertain a motion to approve those minutes with any corrections.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of January 28th, 2025 with all necessary corrections. More.
Support Nash.
It's been moved and supported. Does anyone have any corrections to the minutes? I will ask for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is approval of this evening's agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Move support.
Support. More.
It's moved and supported to approve tonight's agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And we are at new business. I'm going to read the introduction for this. This is our regular meeting when the petition, special land use or site plan approval request in which you are interested is called. Please come forward to the podium. Give your name and address to the secretary for the record. After the appellant's presentation, others may comment. The meeting is videotaped, so it is important that only one person speak at a time and the audience observe respect for the speaker. An affirmative vote of the majority of the members present is necessary to grant a petition, special land use or site plan approval. Recommendations on all petitions made by the commission are then forwarded to the city council. Are there any questions on our procedure? Our new business this evening is case J 25-2817 for the Planning Commission communication, a site plan review for proposed redevelopment of Team 1 Credit Union at 520 Hayden Street. Is the petitioner present who would like to come forward?
Good evening to the committee, and thank you. I'm Derek Barber. I'm the CEO at Team 1 Credit Union, and I'm going to take just a few minutes of your time. I know we're trying to be efficient here, and I will honor that. 90 years we will be celebrating in the city of Saginaw later this year. And organization was started 9 decades ago by 15 teachers who had an idea of creating a financial institution that could serve the city of Saginaw, which at that time was all we served. I'm happy to tell this commission that we have held true to that purpose then and now, which is to meet the financial needs of the people and the community of Saginaw, all with the intent of making it stronger. Last year, I sat in front of my board of directors and asked the question of whether they were open to us remodeling, a complete remodel of our existing facility at 520 Hayden Street. We engaged the help of our architects, who will be speaking here momentarily. It did not take long for us to realize that no matter how much remodeling we did, we were not going to be able to achieve what we wanted to with this building. And so the discussion turned to the idea of a new 30,000 square foot headquarters. The first question and the most important question that was asked at that meeting was, do we want to continue to lay roots in the city of Saginaw, more specifically downtown Saginaw? And I can tell this commission without question that was a short conversation. The board of directors for Team 1 Credit Union said unanimously, our roots started here, we will be here for the rest of time as long as this organization exists. And so I sit before you today on their behalf, asking for your not only consideration, but also your approval of what our friends at AKA Chris are going to present to you next.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. I am Chris Aller with AKA Architects, 303 East 3rd Street, Rochester, Michigan. Thanks for having us, and thanks, Derek, for the introduction. I have brought a few slides with me, which follow along with our site plan approval drawings that we submitted, but I thought I'd just give a brief overview of the project to help you understand what we're proposing here today. Up on the screen is one of the site plans that are in your site plan approval package. Just added some color to it to help explain what we're proposing. As Derek mentioned, we considered renovating their existing building, but that wouldn't meet their needs. And the desire was to build a new building on their current site while keeping the existing building open. So with those constraints, we located the building on the west side of the site. Do I have a pointer on this? I think, or I can, I'll do it this way. On the west side of the site, the gray box there, that allowed us to locate the building and allow the construction to commence while still keeping the other building open. That does limit us. It causes us not to meet all the zoning requirements. The front setback on the north side of the site were too far away, but it did open up an opportunity where we could take that open space and create a landscape plaza and create a pocket park on the corner of Jefferson and Hayden. So overall, I think it's a great site plan, and it flows well, it functions well. It also provides ITM drive-through lanes, 2 lanes for that, and it meets the needs and the functional requirements of keeping the other building open. As Derek said, this is a 30,000 square foot building, 3 stories. It has, primarily, it's an office building, but there are some other functions that go along with that. There's a few public functions that we've kept on the first floor. So this is the first floor that you're seeing up on the screen. And just to orient yourself, the floor plan is rotated 90 degrees from the site plan. So north is to our right. Hayden is on the top of the plan, and then, I'm sorry, Jefferson's on the top, and Hayden is on the right side of the plan. So there are a couple public functions going on in the building. We have a new branch in the building, so that's the primary function on the first floor. We also have a community room, which will be, it's a large gathering space, which will be used for Team 1 employees for all staff meetings. It'll be used for training, but then also it will be open for public use as well, adding a community benefit to the project. And then as we work up on the second and third floors, it's the primary office space for Team 1. We went with an open office concept, which means instead of having all the private offices on the outside walls, we pulled those rooms to the inside of the building and creating open office space with views to the outside and letting daylight into the building itself. There's a cafe for the staff, a break room and other support spaces. Up on the third floor, there's additional office spaces, the executive suite. One of the other significant features of the building are exterior balconies, which will be open up to the cafe for the employees to enjoy the outdoor space. It overlooks the landscape plaza on the north. And then there is also a balcony for the boardroom as well. And as we take a look at the exterior of the building, here we go. We have 4 different views of the building itself. If you look at the lower left-hand image, that's a view from the parking lot. So that's the primary entry there. It's a modern-looking building. It's a statement building architecturally. It's primarily metal panels with stone veneer on the ground floor, adding that sense of permanence to the building itself. And as you work around, the next image on the lower right is a view from Hayden Street, looking up at the balconies on the 2 floors. If you look up at the image up directly above that is another view from the corner of Hayden and Jefferson, just another view of that, the landscape plaza and the parking park. And then the last image is the back side of the building as well. So It's a very, I'm really excited about this project. It's a beautiful building. As architects, we don't always get to design beautiful buildings. Our clients sometimes just want practical, utilitarian, typical office buildings. But Team One had the bold vision of creating a really beautiful building for this project as they continue their legacy in Saginaw. So with that, that's the end of the presentation that I wanted to present here tonight. And if there's any questions you have, we'll do our best to answer them.
Thank you very much. Excuse me.
You got a question?
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Faust.
Before we get started, I have a question for our attorney. I'm on a committee for another credit union in our community, and I don't believe that would affect my judgment, but I'd leave that up to you.
Is that something for which you receive monetary compensation?
No.
So you can vote. We can vote.
This one's not considered a public hearing.
No,
No.
we just need a motion to approve.
And then we do any discussion, and if we want to ask questions of the presenter, we would go out of regular order.
There's no public hearing, so you could ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then at this time, I would entertain the motion to approve J25-2817, the site plan review for Team One Credit Union at 520 Hayden Street.
Support more.
Yes?
I will make that,
I support
motion
you, Mike.
subject to zoning board approval at their next meeting.
There were three contingencies that
Yeah,
should be part of
that's
the
what
motion.
I need to look at to make sure the contingencies, I didn't see which page they were. There we go. Yes, with the
second it more.
contingencies. Variance and citing, proposed plan.
Now we always-
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Is there discussion?
Yes,
Mayor?
I need to know from the CEO. Are you looking at hiring in some of this work local?
Yeah, we do have to keep the questions to the scope of the site plan review.
Oh, I don't have any questions then.
Anyone else with questions for the presenter?
A question.
Rachel?
I have one question. There's a note that the plans aren't meeting the 25% window requirement on the first floor. Can you just talk us through that?
Yes, I can.
Or what's the reason? Let me ask you a question. What's the reason for that?
All right. The reason why we are requesting a variance for for fenestration on the west side of the building is, I guess, twofold. One is just how the fact that we're working with an existing building on site, we're limited to where we can put our new building. And how the public functions that we have on the ground floor include the community room. There's also a fitness room. So if you look on the top of the page here, you'll see we have the community room on the right side of the page. The other blue is the fitness room. We did take a look at, how do we meet the variance requirements? And to do that, we would end up having a significant amount of windows in the community room. And that's, it's a large meeting room that we'll use for presentations such as this. And we wouldn't have a wall to put our projector on. So that was one of the reasons there. And then also, meeting that requirement, we would have windows in our fitness room. The whole wall would be full of windows. It's not very practical. Me being a financial institution, but then just feeling that, you're in a fishbowl and having all the employees being watched while they're exercising. So those are the two reasons why we will be requesting that variance.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Question, Ms. Bland?
When is your start date? If you get approved tonight, when is the start date or construction date?
We plan to start construction in the summer of this year. So around July is what we're planning.
And anticipated completion date?
November 26.
Thank you.
All right, Mayor.
Is that what the total 26 is, all of it built?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the construction will be 2 phases. So we'll build a new building, get that all up and operational, and then the Team 1 crew will move into the building, start working there, and then we'll have to demolish the old building and finish the site.
That's what I should have asked.
I'm not sure if it's a site plan question, but I was curious, is this accommodating moving other personnel into this site or greater employment at this site?
It's not. Employment questions aren't related to the
Yeah.
site plan.
Is it increasing the need for parking at this site?
It is increasing the parking. We're providing 104 parking spaces, which is more than what the zoning requires. And in general, this building a building is a big commitment. It's going to be here another, hopefully 90 years. So it is flexibly designed. We are planning for some growth in the future, and so hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, it did. Any other questions? Commissioner Orange.
Now I need to know if I can ask this question about since this will be the headquarters, right? Other locations that exist, will they still exist for Team 1? Can't ask that?
And these are more business questions that are being asked as opposed to site plan, which relates to making sure that the development plans meet within the zoning code.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I guess I can speak in general. Obviously, this is a big commitment. Team 1 is committed to the city of Saginaw, and this is a big undertaking. And as Derek mentioned, they've been here 90 years, and they'll be here for long after that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
No.
It is moved and supported that we approve this application. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The petition is approved.
Thank you very much.
We are now at the public comment portion of our meeting. Is there anyone who wishes to comment to the commission? Anyone to make public comment? If there's no one to make public comment, we'll move along. Old business. At this point, I'm just going to mention that we received a communication dated February 16th from Richard Wisniewski proposing a division for the zoning code. The staff has copies of this and will be looking into this, I assume. You haven't seen this?
Unless
I
that
believe
was,
it's the communication that was passed out also at the last planning
Okay.
commission
Came in our
meeting
packet
relating
the
to
last
alleys.
is that related to alleys?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's covered under a different, section of the zoning, or the city code. It's not a
It's not a
zoning.
zoning
Correct,
or
right.
planning question.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm just acknowledging we received it and we referred it to the proper department.
There you go.
Usually I don't have.
I have a question.
Okay. Any other old business?
I have a
Yolanda?
Okay, so question for Bob. My question is that when I first came on to the planning commission, there was like set timeframes in which projects were supposed to be completed, and we discussed those when we, accepted a site plan review. Are we adhering to certain dates or times? Like some would be like 6 months, and then we would look at them again and say, okay, did you accomplish what you said you were gonna do in your site plan or your construction? Is that no longer something to look at, or?
If you recall, during, I think it was our December meeting, maybe, we talked
wasn't-
about,
I wasn't
oh,
here.
okay. So there were site plan review procedures, and there is a time limit. I think it was, we decided it was 3 years.
3 years, okay. Okay,
Yep.
you answered my question, thank you.
Any other questions for staff, or? All right, I believe that's all our business for this evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
You just want to.
Oh, yeah, just to acknowledge, since I gave you my copy, I asked Bob to prepare us a letter of thank you to the city council for inviting us to their strategic planning meeting. And he developed a very nice one. I've signed a copy. We'll be transmitting that to the council.
Thank you.
Any comments on that? We try to do that when other city bodies have invited us to something, a meeting. So,
Good job.
whoops,
You did a great day. I'm glad we were
typo.
invited.
Tim Morales, instead of an E, there's an A.
Oh dear. He's not getting paid this week.
We don't pay him by the letter. I'll get together with you on that. I believe that's all that we have then. Did I hear that motion to adjourn yet?
Motion to adjourn.
Support, more.
It's been moved and supported that we adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.